really living in the moment is something that you didn't get to do in your younger years because we are so busy with everything else and everyone else. And with age, we can take that minute and really suck in that moment. You're watching A3 Aging Ann Arbor, where we talk about aging and what you need to know. I'm Faye Molitor.
And I'm Sheila Doeden.
Welcome to the show. Welcome back to A3 Aging Ann Arbor. Sheila and I are going to touch on something that's very deep today, and we feel is super important in the aging process, and that is living a purposeful life and what that means. And it means so much to different people. There's so many things that it can mean. So hopefully we can make this pretty simple and help folks understand how important with the aging process having some sort of purpose is.
Sure.
It keeps us young.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep. That's, I think, part of the goal.
The key. The key is it's the fountain of youth. Yes. Purposeful living is somewhat the fountain of youth.
Yeah.
And it's just staying motivated. That is somewhat hard, especially when you have retired. And the purpose of your life was your job and your career. And now you're not working outside of the home. And family is very important, but it is also super important to find purpose in something that you enjoy.
Sure.
And something that motivates you specifically.
Sure.
And that is it's different for everyone. So activities could mean that you're just working on your personal growth, which could mean, taking a class. Maybe a class that, has nothing to do with the career that you had in life, but maybe was always something that you wanted to better understand or enjoy.
I think that's part of setting goals for yourself. And making sure that, you do have something to get up in the morning and every day and look forward to.
Yeah.
And having that positive outlook and perspective.
Yes.
On your daily.
Yes. It's funny because we're talking about setting goals and it always takes me back. So Sheila and I, in our career, actually took what they call grad school through our corporate entity. And in grad school, we talked about SMART goals. So setting goals, if you keep them specific, very specific to something you want to do, you can measure it. It's measurable. It's attainable and relevant, and you have a timeline on it. And just having those things set in your mind it really does help with the process of keeping on track.
Well, and staying focused. Focused on it.
Yeah. I thought that was like the coolest thing.
Yeah, you wouldn't expect after almost 15 years in business doing what we're doing. And, and then we go through grad school in our 14th year and we weren't dropouts. So that was a beautiful thing.
We weren't dropouts, but we've never been dropouts. We've always done very well in the business. But this was a huge learning curve, I think. We really enjoyed it. Anyway, the SMART goal was a really super cool thing to utilize, not only in the professional world, but also in our daily lives, which is super cool. Continuing to learn is there's just nothing that fills you more, especially if it's something that you're passionate about, And I always go to art because art is my passion. So, learning some sort of, like I took a sketching class with my son, and doing it with your son or somebody that you enjoy being around it's even better. Doing it alone. Some people are, they want to do things on their own. They don't necessarily have to be
it gives
with
you quality
someone.
time with that person that you care about.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah. And ours, we spend a lot of time, well, James spends a lot of time outside in the garden when we're here, but I reap the benefits of getting to use everything that is grown and giving it a purpose, which is super fun.
Yeah.
So I've learned a lot of new skills over the past 5 years.
Sure.
It
gives you such a vibrance to learn new things, and then just the end product that you have, and you're sharing, and that's fun too.
And you can
do appreciate
bring other
that
people
very
joy,
much.
So not only for yourself, you have joy in yourself, but you can share. You can absolutely share it with other people.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, absolutely. Things that make you just swell with I don't like the word pride. But just an achievement. Swell with achievement and helps you feel just accomplished in life is super, super important.
Well, and I think that other people, you're not boasting about it, but you've got a certain level of confidence in your knowledge, and you can share that with other people too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it transfers over into other aspects of your life, right?
Yeah, for sure. So. Yeah. I mean, it is, it is a fun thing to be able to talk to folks who are also interested in what it is that you have achieved or accomplished, about how you did it, and where, and maybe even drawing them in to want to do it with you.
Absolutely.
There's been many times in my life where just a simple conversation with someone has taken me down a road that I didn't expect.
Sure.
And I ended up, experiencing and learning things and skills and whatever that I never thought I would.
Absolutely.
And it keeps you sharp, and it keeps you stronger and resilient. And without that, if we didn't have those things in life, then what do we have?
Right.
Just watching folks age and lose their abilities, it is a tough thing to see.
Yeah.
And when you can offer any kind of purpose to that person, and when I say losing abilities, and for us specifically, it's dementia, Alzheimer's, dementia. These are folks that were like
nuclear physicists.
Oh my! Well, they could have been.
They could have been. Yeah.
They could have been nuclear physicists. They could have been, professors at a university, engineers, biochemists. I mean, these are, very well-educated folks. And the dementia and the disease has taken them to a place that that is somewhat dark, and it's hard for the families to know how to
engage them.
Yeah, and maybe even curb some of the behaviors that are happening. And purpose is the one thing that we've learned over the years.
Sure.
That is huge.
Well, it helps offset maybe sleeping habits if they're not sleeping well at night.
Yeah. Yeah, their nocturnal gets all messed up. They get agitated.
Yep.
They get combative. They want to wander. They leave the house and they're trying to go home. And when we go in, we're talking to the folks about what it is that they enjoy doing in life.
Sure.
Which is some of their purposes in life.
Yeah. I mean, we've done things like buying PVC pipes for people who maybe can't put them together, but they could take them apart.
Yeah.
And so, giving them something to do with their hands, with their mind.
Well, and I do think also, some of these folks were, just they were stay-at-home moms and considered in the era housewives. Sure. And they have lost the ability to cook and they aren't cleaning as much because maybe they're a fall risk, and they can't get down the stairs to do laundry, and those are things that gave them purpose.
Sure.
And we go in and we engage them in those purposeful activities. And we never focus on the outcome because maybe they can't fold the towels. So we're not refolding if they can't fold or
Right.
separate the colors or whatever it is. We're just focusing on giving them something that brings them a sense of accomplishment. And it changes the behaviors that might come with sundowning and with wandering and all of those things. So purpose is not only a very needed thing in just the day-to-day lives as we age, but it is needed. It is part of our, I think, 100% overall well-being.
Sure. Well, part of your identity. I mean,
Sure.
You identify with those things, which I feel like in the end, if you can identify with something, then it's giving you a purpose.
Sure. So yeah, absolutely. It's just crazy how you think of it as almost feeding your soul. It's health and nutrition and activity and all that stuff. It's super important, but you also have to feed your soul. And I think when you lose the sense of what it is that you really loved in life and you can't find that, that's like detrimental to folks. So purpose is important.
Yeah.
So keep learning, embrace a passion. And passions can be anything, passions could be going out and working at a soup kitchen or volunteering your time at a senior center or at the hospital for the babies that need to be held. Whatever it is that brings your heart joy and makes your heart sing, you should look to do as much as possible.
Yeah. I mean, it takes me back to our first guest, Jim Mandy, and the purpose that he has being here with his wife and taking care of her. But he gives so much back to the community and has done so much for so many other families that are caring for someone that does have some form of dementia. He is an amazing man. And you see him all over the local area, just really honing in on helping people better understand maybe what's happening with their loved ones, educating the community. I mean, he really is giving back.
Sure.
And that gives him purpose.
Absolutely. And it keeps him young. Correct. It is a fountain of youth. Just anything that you love to do, knitting, crocheting, learning a new skill, art skill, sketching, drawing, ceramics, but also staying physically active. Purpose is a good thing, but you want to be able to achieve some of the things that you want to do. And if you don't stay physically well, it's going to be really hard to even focus. And it isn't to say that everyone that ages has some form of dementia. But if you don't feed yourself well, and if you don't keep yourself active, then it is just hard to think. And so you want to also do those things so that your joys in life aren't as demanding, because I think when you get to a point that if you aren't really well and you're not eating very healthy and you're not really active, and you go to play, say, bridge with the girls at night, and you've been doing this for years and years and years, and then all of a sudden you can't remember some of the simple rules of the game. It makes you want to disconnect from that social activity. And that causes a lot of havoc in your well-being, and you lose that social connection, and you lose that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And so staying healthy and well is really important too. So, if you are not able to like cook for yourself or do those things, then finding, means of getting really healthy food in the house. There's Meals on Wheels for folks that can't get
Sure.
out and are stuck in their homes. And there's
My dad uses Nutrisystem.
oh
And I was
yeah.
looking at some of that when we were up at his house yesterday, and
I
just
forgot about those types of
yeah.
things.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh, yeah. There's all kinds of fun stuff like that now that
yep.
you can order online that are
And you can pick and
healthy.
choose what you want. I mean, some of it's not real healthy, but I mean, I think it creates a well-balanced. It's about well-balanced too.
Sure.
So,
And then as far as activities, simple chair exercises, and you can find so many people on YouTube
sure.
and many other sources where you can do simple exercises in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to necessarily go to a class if you can't get out
Right.
and your mobility is compromised.
Well, and I think
and you're not driving anymore.
that's where we go back to maybe that goal setting and just making sure that if you're doing some of that you're making those attainable for yourself.
Sure.
Because you don't want to overextend.
Sure.
Because then you don't have that sense of accomplishment.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, that, I think that comes to people lose themselves in life because they're so busy helping other people,
Yes.
family members, job. They just tend to lose themselves. So at some point in life, aging is pretty fun, actually. I'm kind of enjoying it. Because I'm like so much calmer now, and I don't worry as much about things, and I'm a lot more logical, and I have literally found my authentic self.
Sure.
I know what I love, I know who I want to be around, and I know why I wake up every day.
Right.
So I think also staying authentic to yourself and finding that authenticity of who you are is also one of the biggest purposes that we have.
Sure.
If we don't take care of ourselves and we don't really hone in on who we are and what we love and be authentic to that, then we're not doing ourselves a good service. Like we're failing ourselves.
Yeah.
I feel.
Yes.
And so aging is pretty cool that way because all of a sudden your kids are grown. They don't need you so much.
Right.
You are, semi-retired or retired. You hang out with the people that you enjoy, and you're really learning who you are. And so that authenticity is super cool. I like that part of it.
No, absolutely.
A lot.
Yeah. And it takes some effort.
Sure.
It's not
well, that's if purpose doesn't have effort,
right.
Then I don't know how it could be purpose. I think things in life that kind of push you to that next realm are the things that keep you thriving.
Sure.
So, yeah. It's got to be a little difficult. It wouldn't be worth it if it wasn't.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my thought.
And that's part of, waking up every morning with some gratitude.
Sure.
Just about being here and, not just about tangible things, but like you said, the people that you want to spend your time with. And I still get to spend a lot of time with you, which I love.
Yeah,
So,
I know. Every day, almost every day. Yeah. We're semi-retired.
Yes.
Sort of.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I think making a positive difference in your life and making a positive difference in others' lives is also something that that fills you.
Absolutely.
And is
And it can be something really small. It doesn't have to be anything big. It could be just the way that you choose to maybe interact with someone who's new to you, that you've never met before, and leaving them with a feeling that, they were welcomed.
Yeah.
And that, they're accepted.
Agreed. My favorite thing to do is to walk down the street or through the grocery store and smile at people.
Yep.
And
it's amazing how they smile right back.
Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they are just like, ooh, like they don't know what to think, because I guess it doesn't happen that often in their world. But sometimes they do smile right back. And that just brings you a lot of joy.
Absolutely.
Especially when you connect with somebody. Sometimes you think, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to freak you out.
Yeah, right.
Some people actually get freaked out by it. They really do. Yeah. But it's just, and you think to yourself, well, they walked away. They were a little wigged out by that, but hopefully, once they got past you, they thought, oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
That's what you hope.
Sure.
But
that's that human interaction.
Yeah.
And continuing to do that at whatever level.
Yeah.
It can be that simple.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah. No, and I am a huge animal fan. Like, animals are like my people.
Yes.
And so pets, I mean, they can be like the most therapeutic thing. And so that could be another thing that would be a thought, if you had a pet and you lost a pet and you feel, there is some purpose in owning a pet, having to keep them fed, having to keep them walked, having to, keep them active. But in doing all those things, you're also active.
Absolutely.
And so, and it also, I'll tell you what, we just bought a dog. She's 6 months old now, and we take her out, and I can't tell you how many people walk up to us.
Sure.
And we end up communicating and interacting with so many different people because doodles are a thing right now, and we have a doodle. And so people instantly are like, is that a doodle? And then you tell them, yeah, it's a doodle. What kind of doodle? It's a Bernedoodle. Well, I have a Labradoodle, or I have an Aussie doodle, or I have a English sheep doodle. There's all kinds of doodles. And then you end up having that connection, and it ends up almost being like it's almost like a cult following, this doodle thing.
Yes.
But it is cool, and it is kind of a purposeful thing to do because you're taking care of something else. It's not just you. So you get that sense of a purpose because you care so much for them and you want to make sure they're well. But also the social interaction and bringing people joy in the community when you're out with this dog and they can't even stand it. They love her so much, and she loves them so much. And
well, even when she's here in the office and interacting with our staff or, and she's just
I do love it so
sweet.
Much. I'll bring her into the office. I open the door and the girls turn around and they're like, Nora, they're so excited. It's like it brings the day a different vibe.
It does.
And she's kind of a therapy dog. So,
yeah, she keeps us moving. We've got to take her outside periodically too.
Yeah,
so,
too. Yeah, she can't. Yeah, she has to go out.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. No,
so, even pets can bring you a sense of purpose if that's something that you're into or something that you can have or enjoy in life. I know some people don't necessarily have the capacity to be able to take a pet out or, take care of a pet. But man, if even if a family member could bring a pet over to someone that's homebound, man, I can't tell you the therapy that you get from them. I think it is a feeling of warm and fuzzy.
We actually had a client who said that she would
we
pay
did.
us extra to take Nora over and use her as pet therapy with her sister.
Her sister had a Labradoodle, and her sister is diagnosed with a neurodegenerative disease. and she's stuck in the house, and her Labradoodle passed. And so her sister was like, she would find so much joy in bringing, if you could bring Nora to, hang out with my sister, and not charging her for that, I would just take Nora over there.
Sure.
But it just was sweet. It was super sweet that, her sister thought of her like that.
Yeah.
To sum up what it looks like to live a purposeful life, it's just making sure that you are staying motivated, that you're staying engaged, that you are setting goals, that you continue to learn, that you find it in yourself to live in the moment, if that's at all possible.
Yes.
Really living in the moment is something that you didn't get to do in your younger years because we are so busy with everything else and everyone else. And with age, we can take that minute and really suck in that moment.
That's the one thing that I found with, having our grandkids.
Yeah.
Because we don't have to, we're responsible for them when they're there, but we're not responsible for the day to day. So we get to just hang out and have fun.
Yes.
And listen to, their anecdotes and really delve into their personality and really, connect with them.
Sure.
And that right there keeps us young.
Oh, yeah. Kids will keep you young for sure. Coloring with them.
Yeah. I mean,
cutting and pasting with them.
Yeah. It was so simple. And we were actually just talking last night about our youngest grandson is 4, and he is just
a mover and a shaker.
Comedian. Aww. He's a comedian. And
he's finding his personality.
He's finding his personality, which is so much fun. And James said, would your uncle and your grandpa just not love this kid? And I was like, oh, he would just melt their heart. He's just, we were playing downstairs the other day, and he had his semi-truck, and he had all of his cars packed in the semi, and he comes running down the hallway, and he says, hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah.
I got to go to the store.
Aww.
And James says, are you going to get beer? He goes, nope, not this trip. What are you getting? I'm getting chicken nuggets and everything else. And we were like, well, be careful. He was just,
I think it's cute.
He's so funny. Anyway, yeah. But so that definitely.
Sure. Yeah. Hanging out with family, with grandbabies. Yeah. There's nothing more fulfilling. I'll tell you what. Family brings you joy. And the babies.
Yeah.
Come on.
Adeline.
Well, because I never had a girl. I'm surrounded by all boys, except now Nora's a girl, so I have a Nora dog, but a girl dog. But Adeline, who is 5 months old, is my granddaughter, and I can do hair pretties and I can buy girl clothes and all of that stuff. And I was never able to do that before. So that's a beautiful thing. And it definitely is going to keep me young. She's going to keep me young.
I was going to say,
I'm going to learn some of the cool stuff from that little one.
That's called goal setting.
Yeah, there's my goal.
There's your goal.
Yeah, I agree.
But no, seriously. All of that is part of living purposefully.
It is absolutely. And so, to just bring it all together, living a positive life, making a positive difference in your own life.
Yes.
In your own life. That's purpose. And that's what we want to see all of you do as you age, because we all do.
Yeah, none of us
there's no not aging. We're gonna age.
Right.
So it's a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I think so too. Yeah. So yes, if you liked what you saw and you enjoyed this conversation, we have many other conversations through A3 Aging Ann Arbor. Please hit the bell button and subscribe and like our channel.
And this episode was brought to you by Senior Helpers of Ann Arbor.
Have a good day. That was A3 Aging Ann Arbor, your source for all things aging.
Please like, share, and subscribe for more episodes. Thanks for watching.
This episode was sponsored by Senior Helpers of Ann Arbor.